In 1953, Operation Wetback, created by Joseph Swing, arrested and deported more than 3.8 million Latin Americans unfairly, including political activist Luis Moreno. In 1954, in the Hernandez versus Texas case, the Supreme Court unanimously ruled that murder should be overturned because Mexican Americans hadn't been allowed to participate in both juries. In 1963, Miami's Coral Way Elementary School is the first school that offers dual language for both English and Spanish speakers, made possible by a grant from the Ford Foundation. In 1965, Cesar Chavez and Dolores Huerta found the United Farm Workers Association, which would sponsor the largest farmer strike in the nation at the time. This strike resulted in higher wages and health insurance benefits for the farmers.
One key event in the 1970s to 1980s period was the founding of the SVREP, or the Southwest Voter Registration and Education Project. This became the first major Latino voter organization, and their motto was "Si voto es su voz," or "Your vote is your voice." They believed deeply in Latino political empowerment, and through their efforts to register more than 2 million Latino voters in the first 20 years. Additionally, they created the Latino Academy Initiative, which trains candidates, campaign workers, and community leaders and organizers on how to run for elective offices, including voter targeting, social media, messaging, fundraising, how to get out the votes. Through the Latino Academy, individuals are learning how to organize and mobilize different voters. And this all goes to show the importance of education and political empowerment, which is still a lesson that resonates to this day. Finally, the SVREP is running strong in 2022, and their website can be found at svrep.org.
America's adopted immigration policies in the early 2000s led to the Latino population being pronounced as the country's largest minority group in 2003. However, Latino immigrants were treated poorly in terms of employment rates, wages, and living conditions, spurring to the 2006 May 1st Day Without Immigrants, where thousands of Latinos and other immigrants boycotted work, school, and shopping to illustrate their significance and mistreatment in American society. This issue is of concern to our modern world because Latino immigration from Mexico is still an ongoing debate, especially with the recent Trump wall policy, which was halted by Biden ever since he stepped into office. Latino immigration policies widely affect American productivity and crime rates, both positively and negatively. So discussing and pushing for Latino immigration policies with alternative means of reducing crime rates is necessary for us as American citizens to help our Latinos fight for their opportunity for freedom. Modern groups, figures, and organizations relevant include the Minuteman Project, a big advocate for the Trump wall, which Latino activism has centered around. Stonewall Alex, president of the Latino Victory, and organizations previously mentioned in this video that played a significant role in transpiring the movement to what it is today.
Latin Americans fought for their rights throughout the 1990s and 2000s. With events such as the Rodney King case and 9/11, discrimination against minorities increased as distrust and unease swept the nation. This furthered the racial tensions as police cracked down on Latino immigrants, saying that keeping out foreigners is the only way to keep the United States safe. Many people fought this injustice at the time. For example, in 2006, where high schoolers throughout the nation in cities such as Los Angeles and Houston protested and boycotted schools and businesses in support of immigrant rights and equality. However, all was not bad at the time. For example, California's Proposition 187 was ruled unconstitutional in 1997, and this gave undocumented immigrants access to public education and healthcare that they were previously excluded from. Furthermore, the debate on what to do with undocumented Latino immigrants shifted from deportation to a pathway to citizenship, and the issues of Latin American rights are starting to be fixed to this day.